Shift, Secular Humanism, Inquiry, and Freethought. I'd like to welcome you to our Spring Semester 2012 guest speaker event featuring Dr. P.Z. Myers. I'm Jason Cooperrider. I'm the current treasurer for Shift. So yeah, let's give him a... I'm Jason Cooperrider, the current treasurer for Shift. And I co-founded the group back in May 2009 and have since served both as its vice president and as its president at various times. And before I introduce you to Dr. Myers, I'd first like to take a moment to recognize those who helped provide funding for this event to make it possible. The Humanists of Utah, first and foremost, made a generous contribution, just as they have for every guest speaker event Shift has done so far. So let's give them a quick round of applause. And I'd also like to recognize a Shift alumnus, Abhishek Mathura, for making the largest donation Shift has had thus far, which has helped pay for a significant portion of this event. So if you'd please stand, Abhi, and we'll all give you a round of applause. So without further ado, it's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Paul Zachary Myers, better known to most of us as P.Z. Myers. Dr. Myers is a professor of biology at the University of Minnesota at Morris. He is the author of the very popular science and atheism blog Pharyngula, which was recognized by Nature magazine as the top-ranked blog written by a scientist. Dr. Myers also has some local ties here. He lived here with his family in Salt Lake City for a number of years and did his postdoc in Dr. Mike Bastiani's lab here in biology. His scientific research focuses on evolutionary developmental biology, using zebrafish and more recently salamanders as a model organism. He is a public critic of intelligent design and the creationism movement, and he's also active in defending and promoting evolutionary science. So it's our great pleasure to bring you Dr. Myers today, so please join me in giving him a warm welcome.
Well, hello everyone. I'm looking around the room to see if there's anyone I recognize. No, you're all strangers, sorry. Yeah, last time I was here was 19 years ago. I have noticed that the campus has changed, the city's changed. It's been so... What have you guys been doing? Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm glad to be back. I have very fond memories of Salt Lake City. It was a wonderful place to raise my kids. My wife is very sad that she didn't come with me because she has fond memories as well of this place. So it's a good place, even if it's full of Mormons. Okay. Mormons are good people too. I know this. I have quite a number of Mormon friends who are great people. All right, so what I want to do today is, you guys are guinea pigs, because what I'm going to do is give you an early draft of the talk I'm presenting at the Global Atheist Conference next week. So, any of you planning to be in Australia next week? Because, you're wasting your time. You'll come here again, and then, okay, you're all good. What's the matter with you people? It's great in Melbourne. It's going to be a wonderful meeting. Well, anyway, so what I want to talk about is this is a talk where this is a raw atheism talk. I hope you don't mind. I kind of mix it up usually. I do science talks, atheist talks, all kinds of weird talks. This one's one of the angry atheist talks. So, oh, that's what you want to hear. Okay, well, let me start with something familiar, a phrase that you've all heard. In the beginning was the Word. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's a common phrase. It's right there in the front and center of the Bible. But I got to tell you, it's wrong. That's not true. In the beginning of human society, there was the blood. The marker of our identity was the family or the tribe or the clan. What united us into functioning social units was the pedigree, the web of familial ties that knit us together. Unfortunately, that union is limited to a fairly small group of people for obvious reasons. You can only be expanded by the commitment of marriage, and beginning at the age of agriculture, human society was growing pretty fast and kind of outstripping what the ties of blood could bring together. So we needed something else to bring us together. And you'd say, well, maybe next was the word. And no, it wasn't. The next thing that brought people together was the king. The king was a proxy for the blood. You declared allegiance to the big man, the chief, the royal family, whatever. Maybe you weren't directly linked by familial relationship, but the king or pharaoh represented you. He was a symbol of your identity, and the size of the social unit could grow. So now do we come to the word? And no, the Christians still got it all wrong. The word wasn't next. Next was the city. In the ancient world, the large social unit was the city. Places like Babylon, Athens, Rome. Kings come and go, but Rome was eternal. People didn't say they were Greek, although there was an awareness of a similarity of language and history. But when you asked who they would thump their chest, they'd say, oh, I'm an Athenian, or I'm a Spartan. And Rome built this whole empire with an arrogance of pride in that special Roman citizenship. So it was even an identity that could be expanded to a remarkable degree. So people standing on Hadrian's Wall in farthest Britain or on the frontiers of Syria would find honor in calling themselves Roman. So these were the things that linked people together. This is where we found our common identity. And now we come to the word. See, there's a problem with basing your identity on a city. Cities fall, right? When Alaric the Goth sacked Rome in AD 410, St. Augustine could sit back in the relative safety of his home in North Africa and note the event with both horror and triumph. The fall of Rome was an immense cataclysm that shook the ancient world, shattering that sense of identity and constancy, but was also an opportunity for an alternative way of thinking of ourselves to come to ascendancy. The way of the word, the people of the book. Now, Augustine didn't invent this. It had been tried for a long, long time. The most notable people of the book were the Jews. They attached their sense of identity to a collection of laws and stories and commentaries and books, part of which is the Christian Old Testament. And they acquired a persistence that cities couldn't have. When Jerusalem fell, the Jewish people were not destroyed. The event became a chapter in their books, a remembered part of their history. It strengthened their identity to lose the city. A Roman could not be landless, cityless, or countryless, but a Jew could. You could take everything away from the Jewish people. You could make them homeless and scattered, and still they know who they are, which is pretty impressive. That's solidarity and unity of identity. I think the most brilliant thing that Christianity ever did was to take the idea of the word, that concept of identity that's all wrapped up in an abstract set of ideas and stories, and to open it up to everyone. Oh, Rome fell, right? You're all alone. Here, we can help you find yourself. We can give you a new meaning to your life. We have a standard that you can hold high and find unity with greater people. It's called the Bible. And it was a powerful tool. I repeat, it was absolutely brilliant. It made Christianity bulletproof. See, cities can fall and kings can die and bloodlines can fade, but ideas can go on and on and on. Now, a 21st century person can feel continuity with a 5th century priest. An American can share a central element of their self with someone in South Africa, with someone in China, with someone in Romania. Heck, with someone on the space station or walking on the moon. We have this concept of the ecumene, that people are tied together by a common belief that crosses borders. And it's a powerful tool. It's a widely used tool as well. What is a United States citizen but somebody bound by a set of documents, the Constitution? We Americans are also people of the Word. Mormons, people of the Word. They have this identity that we can encapsulate. Now, so far, I'm sounding like a Christian. This is a little scary. I could be an evangelical pastor giving a sermon to the... But, you see, there's a difference here. There's something that's going to come up. And that is, there's this power that comes from what they call an unkillable idea. You'll find a version of this in V for Vendetta. You know, Alan Moore's graphic novel or the movie, whichever you prefer. And it's precisely what the story is all about. So let me give you a quote from the movie and the book. This is from Evie, who says, "We are told to remember the idea, not the man, because a man can fail. He can be caught. He can be killed and forgotten. But 400 years later, an idea can still change the world. I've witnessed firsthand the power of ideas. I've seen people kill in the name of them. I die defending them. But you cannot kill an idea, cannot touch it or hold it. Ideas do not bleed, it cannot feel pain, and it does not love." So, you know, you were probably dubious so far and wondering what the heck I was doing saying the Bible is powerful and important. But, you know, now that I've cited nerd god Alan Moore, are we back on the same wavelength? It's all okay now? You'll forgive me? So, you know, Alan Morris, he's saying this concept, and what I'm saying is that element of identity is so important, it's so crucial in bringing people together. You can kill a man, you can sack a city, but Alan Moore says you can't kill an idea, and ideas can change the world. You can say that again, ideas can change the world. We know this. This is something atheists share in common with Christians. You'll get no argument from the believers in any religion that ideas can change the world. It's what they've been doing for thousands of years, usually for the worse. But now I have to disagree with Alan Moore on one thing. There goes all my nerd cred, right? Well, I'm going to disagree with him on one thing. And that is, you can kill an idea. This is also something that the people of faith are all aware of, perhaps unconsciously, perhaps not in any intellectual sense. I think a lot of them are conscious of this possibility, but they know, and this is the delicious thing, they are afraid. Christians struggled hard to kill some of these ideas in the past. History is littered with dead ideas. So Christianity succeeded in some cases, it failed in others, and they know it's hard, but they also know from experience that, yeah, you can kill an idea. Right now, read the pronouncements of popes and archbishops, read the newspapers and the web columns, look to the priests in their pulpits, and you'll see something utterly wonderful. They are reacting to the rise of the new atheists in the same way the Roman establishment saw the Visigoths appearing on the horizon. I can't blame them for being fearful. We are galloping towards essential ideas of their identity, and we aim to tear down their walls and replace their obsolete myths with change and something more vital than the old myths that we're living with now. Deep in their heart of hearts, they fear that a sequel to St. Augustine's City of God is in the works, and it's going to be written by an atheist. And it will speak of a brand new world and new opportunities. It will create a new ecumene of people united under something other than the folly of faith. So how do you kill an idea? How are we going to sack that city of faith? And the answer is obvious. Come up with a better idea. Come up with a more powerful idea. That's the only way we can kill a bad idea. It's the only way we can win. Now, I am not so arrogant that I'd say I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make this announcement. I've come up with the idea. Because that's not the way it works. You don't just spontaneously come up with a religion killer. This isn't the kind of thing that just pops into existence out of one guy's mind. It takes refinement over time, lots of smart people hammering it out. Just like those holy books and those doctrines and dogmas weren't magicked into existence in an instant. Christianity was the product of centuries. It took time for it to drive everything else out. Fortunately, our idea, the one that I endorse as the central unit of our identity, has been incubating for a few centuries, and it's also involved multitudes of our civilization's greatest minds. It's called science. So science is the atheist weapon. It's our God killer.